Hi, Sarah. How you doing? So I've got your ad here. I've got your writing, and I read your writing. It's pretty interesting, the way that you've thought about this. And you're right in a lot of ways. Using rule of thirds, that's smart. The placement of the shoreline is a very, very valid consideration. And so thinking about things like that and considering things like that at this early stage is really pointing in the right direction in terms of conceptual development and visual organization of your work. Let me jump over to the ad. We'll start. I want to start with the magazine ad since that's where we started the project. So I opened the magazine ad, and I think that the one thing that is kind of causes a little bit of concern is the fact that it's Love in the Air Valentine's Day romance package. And I actually got this from another student, and I agree with it. That having one drink is kind of a misleading image in the fact that since you're promoting Valentine's Day, which is presumably couples. You have the one drink with the hearts on it. So, I mean, shouldn't there be two drinks? And that was the comment that was made, and I tend to agree with that. As far as page mechanics goes, the ad is set up very nicely. This subhead here is kind of just aligns with nothing. So it's just kind of floating there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And there are a couple of other things that are just kind of floating too. And one of these two text boxes right here are definitely floating. Now they are aligned. They're left aligned, which is good. That's smart. But nonetheless, they're not horizontally aligned with anything. And I'm going to talk about that in 1 second. So the Valentine's Day romance package is kind of, yeah, this is an interesting, I think it might be a little too big for a subhead. I think if we reduce the size a little, we can work it in with this a little bit more, maybe in an area like this, or left align it with that. Right now, it's just kind of encroaching on the right side of the image, and it's precarious. The text blocks are both set in bold. I do not recommend that. It equates to getting yelled at as a viewer. Also, I would use white text. I think white text will work. Where did that banner go? We do see some white text in there. Now, if not white, maybe you can work something with the text where it's a lighter color. Maybe pick a color out of the sand. And so we'll be able to see this, both blocks of text. I recommend using the same type for both text boxes. This one's a little bit larger. That'll draw some consistency there. I would not recommend this big space in between these two paragraphs. You don't want to try to say too much in an ad. Okay. So right now what you're doing is you've changed the subject of the writing right here. You've gone from, luxurious 3-day Valentine's Day weekend to enjoying night in your room with a 5-star restaurant. So that's a different thought. So we don't have to separate it. It's still part of the text. Let's bring it closer to here, set it in the same type. I think this is probably more appropriate. This is too big. I think they're both too big, actually. And that'll draw some continuation. And then what you can do is align the top of this type, somewhere close to the top of the drink. And that will eliminate another visual stop. Instead of going like this, headline, subhead, and then over here, and then back over here, and then down here, and then you'll go subhead, which will be grouped with the headline. So you'll go headline. Then you'll come down here, and this will be a continuation of the type line. So you're seeing these both at the same time subconsciously. And it'll eliminate a visual stop, and then you'll go right into this text. So that text box comes down, this one comes up. Remove the bold, try to set it in a lighter color. Okay, now let's move to the banner. Now the banner, I think, is you've got the two drinks in the banner, but now you've got an issue that you've used the hearts in this drink and you're not using the hearts in this drink. That creates inconsistency. As far as the banner itself goes, you've got the placement of the logo in two different places in the banner and the ad. I recommend they go in the same spot in both ads. Which means that preferably I like the lower right hand corner because I think it's a good exit strategy for a magazine ad. But since this is laid out the way it is and your logo is on the left in the magazine ad, you could just flip this image and put the logo over here. So the drinks are on this side, logos on this side. I always recommend the logo be towards the bottom of the ad. I think it makes more natural flow, makes more natural sense. As far as the animations go, it looks like you're showing good proficiency with the animations. However, I think there's too much going on. I would just say love is in the air. Leave that, then fade in Valentine's Day romance package. Okay, and then get rid of spend a luxurious 3 days. This is a banner ad. You don't want to try to sell on a banner ad. You just want to get them to click. So love is in the air, fade it in, leave it, then fade in Valentine's Day romance package. Click for more info or something like that. You don't even have to put that because any more people know that if you click on a banner, you're going to the site. So the only other thing that I would recommend to induce people to click on the banner would be to include the location. And not the address per se, but the location, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Either say, love is in the air in the Caribbean, or located in luxurious St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. Something like that. Something so we know that this isn't just a South Carolina or a Florida resort, that it's actually in the Caribbean. So that'll get them to click right quick. All right. So other than that, I think you've done a really, really good job. The visual cohesion is there. You're showing good placement, good image adjustments, outstanding in the magazine, and very, very good in the banner. Everything is placed beautifully. Your vectors are placed beautifully. Everything's looking great. Good job. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.